Welcome back to Oh, God, I can't even get it going. Welcome back to Talkville, folks, for the love of God.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Ryan. You're welcome, Tom. Bryce, good to see you. This is Bryce's last episode. And then Ryan takes over for season 7. Let's give Bryce a big hand. I probably couldn't function at all as a human being without Bryce. Bryce is tremendous at what he does.
I guess we'll find out.
He's a tremendous producer. He's smart as a whip. He's patient. He's pays attention to detail and
available.
Thoroughly impressed with you, buddy, and I appreciate you for being a part of Inside of You and Talkville. So thanks, man.
Yeah, guys, thanks. Glad I'm here for the best of.
Yes,
final.
The best of. Recapping some of season 6. Big thanks to everyone who has been with us for 6 seasons.
Jeez.
So thank you, guys. If you haven't seen it yet, myself, Ryan, and Tom did a live watch through of the season 6 finale over on our Patreon. So you can check it out at patreon.com/talkville. And we watch episodes. If you're part of the grand tier, we watch with you. So if you want to join the grand tier, that would be awesome for season 7. And you get some perks, and everybody got an autographed poster, a unique poster that no one else had. And some other
what I really like about those watch things we do is like conversations start happening that are so hilarious. You know what I mean? We just start ranting. It's fun.
Yeah, everybody just joins in. The patrons, they're hilarious. And they're all different and very cool. And before we head into season 7, which will start in a few weeks in July, we wanted to recap season 6. So Bryce put a bunch of stuff together. What are your guys' general feelings for the 6th season of the show after getting through season 6 and heading into season 7? What do you think it looks like? I mean, are we a big fan of season 6? I am.
This is my favorite season for sure.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite season too, Tom.
I like it. I think in the early days, we had a lot of identity, stories, and a lot of plot. And this has more intrigue with both of those. I think it's getting better.
Yeah, with all the hype for season 5 that Al and Miles, they were like, Al would say, season 5 being the best. This one felt like a little better of a season. It just, I don't know. It felt more compelling to me. Lex going full evil with a point of no return with Lana. Literally has 0 people who are on his side in the town of Smallville now, not even his own father, which of course is expected. And with Nat leaving as a series regular, it seems like the show will, with predominantly just be in Metropolis now, I'm assuming. I mean, we can only assume. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about going to Metropolis? I don't personally like that idea. I like, it's called Smallville. So I don't know how I'm going to like this. I'm already going in with...
I think it's important to remember that when people originally watched this show, they didn't know next season was going to go to Metropolis. So I think when we do the first episode of the next season, I think we have to visit that question, because otherwise, how do you know how you feel about it until it happens?
Right. Did you enjoy all the superhero tie-ins in this season? And are you looking for more of that in the next few seasons? Justice League, Martian Manhunter, Green Arrow, etc. Ryan, how do you feel about that?
I absolutely want that.
You do?
Yeah.
If we're gonna yell at me,
yeah.
Jesus.
No, if we're gonna leave Smallville, let's bring some interesting superheroes, and I want to hear their stories, and
I think they did it well.
Yeah.
I think season 6 they did a good job with these characters that came in, because it could have been cheesy, and they made it work, and they gave these characters some depth.
Yeah, and they're kind of worked into a hole, right? Because they can't bring in people that he faces as Superman, because he's not Superman yet, but you got to make the show work for 10 years before so it's like, how do you intertwine these people?
Yeah.
On that same note, nobody knows it's going to last 10 years. So in the writer's room, they're like, what do we do in this season? Like Alan Miles said, you break it down in these arcs, and they do that before we start shooting, obviously. So how do you keep the boat afloat?
You just knock out Lana.
Jesus. Ryan?
Oh, I mean, because it comes at it from the Smallville standpoint, when you're introducing new heroes to it, you're starting from their ground level. You're not meeting them already with all their superpowers and everything. You're sort of meeting them at the same level as Clark is. So
Yeah.
And they're like human form first and sort of, as people.
Bryce says, Michael, do you remember your mindset heading into the final season with it being your last? Was it get it over with or have fun with one last ride? Well, I didn't.
You didn't know it was your last?
I did. In my mind, I'm the only one that could have known that. And I showed a lot of conviction with that. I made it apparent. I go, guys, this is my last season. So you wrap it up. Wrap it up. Something you tell your kids, wrap it up. And I think
it's such a good relationship because it's like walking up to somebody and being like, all right, listen, you have 10 months to get rid of me. Do your best.
I was like, hey, I did my, I signed on for 6 seasons. I did a 7th season. And I was like, I felt like it's time for me to move on. And in my head, I was done. Now, if you recall, I mentioned this, that the head of Warner Brothers television, Peter Roth, of course, after the season was over, sat me down for dinner and said, you got to do this. You get, and I told him, hey, look, I just want to do my own stuff. I want to go direct a fun little movie with my friends. I want to do all these things. And, he was a bit cocky. He was like, well, look what happened to Julianne Margulies when she left. I guess it was ER. And I go, well, she did The Good Wife. And, but that wasn't then. Okay. But I was like, these guys try to scare you into like, this is the best job you'll have. And it was the best job I ever had. But what happened was, if they would have made me an offer that was respectable, that I was like, wow, they really want me back. This is nice. I would have maybe thought about it. I would have maybe thought about it. But the fact that they went in and said, you're not getting any more, you're going to get exactly what you were making for 3 seasons, to sign on for 3 seasons. And I told my agent, I said, you tell them to F themselves. And he goes, I can't do that. I go, well, I'm telling you to tell him that. You're my agent. He's like, Michael, just, relax. And I go, okay, don't tell him to F off, but say, thanks, good night, done. So I'm sure he said, hey, he's just not feeling it, something like that.
I don't know what Peter Roth looks like, but in my head, he's like a big guy with a cigar and a 3-piece pinstripe suit saying, you're never working this town again, kid.
Nah, he's just kind of a guy who just wants to hug everyone and seems so enthusiastic, but, he can be really dark and he holds grudges. And there's no reason why. I just felt like if you're going to sit me down for a steak dinner and tell me all these great things about myself and say we need you and then come back and it's like, any job in the world, if you get, your boss sits you down and say, we want you back, you're important to this show. And then they go, but we're not giving you any kind of raise or any incentive to do it. It's just like a slap in the face. It was the final proverbial nail in the coffin for me. Guest stars: Justin Hartley, Bautista, Tori Spelling, Tyler Posey, Linda Carter, Bow Wow. We had a lot of good guest stars. Who was your favorite out of all those? I mean, obviously, Justin Hartley is great. And he had more of a character arc and development. So I have to go with that. But it was cool to see all these folks on. Tom, did you have a favorite besides Justin?
I think when I took the online quiz, I think I picked Justin just because we ended up spending so much time becoming buddies on the show together. But the Tori Spelling thing was special to me because she was so awesome. I directed the episode and I learned a lot from her. So, but I spent more time with Justin.
Yeah, and she was a sweetheart too. Tori was a sweetheart. They were all really kind. I don't really know any assholes besides that one guy. But we won't get into that. Guests on the pod: Phil Morris, Stephen DeKnight, Glenn Winter, Erica Durance, Kristen Kruk, Aaron Ashmore.
That is so hard.
They were just all great. They all had insight and were pleasant, and it was a joy having them on. And hopefully we'll get a few of them on again for season 7. I'm sure Ryan will be nudging me to get people on this podcast. But look, it was a great season. There was a lot of fun. I think the fans are really happy when Tom and I go to cons. Everyone's really enthusiastic. They're like, got to do a season. Although, you know what? At the last con we were at, we were doing we did a Q&A on a Sunday, and it was a packed crowd. And the moderator said something like, yeah, Talkville. And I felt like 80% didn't watch Talkville that were in that room. I was like, what the fuck is this? You guys are Smallville fans? And you're not watching the recap show? So
it's
maybe
been 3 years now. It's crazy. It's been 3 years of this podcast for people.
Yeah.
Still,
maybe they're waiting. Maybe they're waiting till it's all done so they can go back and
They're
binge.
Maybe they're waiting for their cross-country road trip so they could just do it all.
Best of season 6. Thank you, everyone who participated. We had thousands of participants, and it's fun seeing where we all differ. Best guest appearance. Aaron Ashmore, Justin Hartley, Linda Carter, Phil Morris, Tori Spelling, Bow Wow, Greyston Holt. And the winner, Ryan, want to read it?
And the winner. Well, what did you guys pick first? Let's do that real quick.
I picked Justin Hartley.
You picked Justin?
Yeah, because he was pretty much a regular.
And the winner with 66% of the vote was Justin Hartley. Arrow. Runner-up with 11% of the vote was Linda Carter.
Yes, Linda Carter.
I think
that was
just
cool.
because it was Linda Carter.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her on the podcast, and her publicists are just like, Jesus Christ. It's like, Linda has this, and it's all about. It's like, I forget it. Forget it.
I've had to remove her from my calendar multiple times this year.
I'll see her at Fan City Con. Best explosion. Cigarette limo explosion and reunion. Slow-mo 33.1 exit of Lex Luthor and Justice. Tunnel explosion escape Nemesis. The dam explosion Phantom. Lana's car explodes Phantom. The winner with 66%. Wait, who'd you vote for, Ryan?
I voted for the slow-mo.
I mean,
did you, Tom, who'd you vote for?
33.1 Lex.
That is the winner.
Yep.
With 66% of the vote, slow motion Lex Luthor, 33.1. Runner up with 12% of the vote, tunnel explosion, escape, Nemesis. I thought the elevator thing, or was that season 5? The elevator where Tom saves the elevator?
I think that was last season.
Oh, that was season 5, because that would have been my pick.
Yeah.
it's also not an explosion, though.
Oh yeah.
Save.
Thanks for bringing that up. Way to make me look stupider. Best sad moment. Chloe says goodbye to her mom and Progeny. Lois gets dumped in Justice. Lana loses the baby in Combat. Lana's wedding exit in Promise. Lois loses Wes in Prototype. And Lois and Chloe trade deaths in Phantom. Who'd you vote for?
There are all these girls that are really bad, like sad scenes. It's just multiple sad things.
I don't remember what I voted for. Might have been the wedding exit.
I voted for Lana loses the baby.
You didn't vote for the Lois's breakup?
Maybe I did. I don't remember. But the winner, with 35% of the vote, Lana's wedding exit in Promise. Runner up, 22% of the vote was Chloe says goodbye to her mom and Progeny. Yeah, I mean, those are some sad scenes. What would you say the saddest scene in Smallville was? Probably Jonathan Kent dying.
Oh, that's up.
Yeah.
That's probably number 1. That's got to be. Or maybe Pete leaving the show.
That one was sad too.
That was sad. He was crying on the basketball court.
How about when Chloe got blown up in her house?
Yeah, that wasn't that emotional because you didn't see it.
Or
the saddest one for me was the Clark watching his dad on the TV, tractor driving away. That was like the one that like got me.
That's it. And he waves to him.
Yeah.
Most confusing moment. That could have been a lot for me. Chloe's meteor freak. This has been a meteor freak the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Phantom. Lois not recognizing the masked Oliver and Arrow. Alien peptides. Phantom. Lois believing barn door flying from microbursts and sneeze. Terrible. Linda Lake water cooler hangout. Hydro. Why Lionel forced Lana to marry Lex. Promise. What'd you guys think?
I think I went with the meteor freak Chloe.
Tom?
Hydro.
Winner with 25% of the vote. Chloe has been a meteor freak this whole time from Phantom. Runner up, 24% of the vote. Why Lionel forced Lana to marry Lex. Promise.
That was a good one.
Best knockout. You got to think Lana's in here a lot. Or Lex.
It's Lana.
Lana falls down the stairs in Trespass. Lois gets ragdolled in the ring. Combat. Lana passes out in the newsroom. Rage. Lana gets choke slammed in Luthor Mansion. Zod. Lana gets shot in Noir. It's funny that she doesn't win. And she has 80% of the choices are Lana.
Well, I guess we know who wins.
37% of the vote. Lois gets ragdoll in the ring in Combat. Yeah, maybe. Runner up, 30% of the vote. Lana gets ragdolled in Luthor Mansion. Zod.
Runner up, Lana across the board.
Yeah, all Lana. Best smooch.
By the way, this reminds me of why maybe Kristen was thinking about getting off the show.
What, the kisses?
No, she might have been considering, after what we just laid out in her season, she may have been considering, I don't want to be here anymore.
I agree. Best smooch. Lois kisses Green Arrow, Hydro. Lana kisses Clark goodbye in Phantom. Lex's throwback affair with Lois in Noir. Red K Love, Crimson. Mark Anthony and Cleopatra, Wither. Lex and Lana reunite in Static. I guess this one.
I think I went with the Lois kissing Green Arrow Clark.
Tom?
I think I went with Lois kissing Green Arrow. I know it's not the Lex kiss.
Bryce, what'd you pick?
I didn't pick one.
He made the quiz.
So what? He could still choose.
Like, which one's my favorite?
Yeah,
I think that one because it was like quirky. It was fun.
Runner up, 26% of the vote. Lana kisses Clark goodbye in Phantom.
There was so precious gemstones. You guys all did this? I didn't pick one.
The best Somebody Save Me. Clark catches Chloe, Noir. Clark catches Lana, Trespass. Clark saves Lex from the bullet in Progeny. Clark huffs and puffs, fire away, sneeze. Clark rescues Bart, Justice. Lex comes back for Clark and Nemesis. They're all Clark and
I'm going to
one
guess
Lex.
Clark.
Ryan?
I think I went with the sneeze one.
Bryce?
Clark huffs and puffs, fire away.
You didn't vote. Winner with 42% of the vote. Lex comes back for Clark and Nemesis.
Wow.
I kind of agree because
Yeah.
you didn't expect it. Their friendship's on the outs. Runner up, 24% of the vote. Clark rescues Bart and Justice.
Oh no, I went with the bullet where he takes a second and looks at Lex and like, should I save him? Yeah, I'll save him. That's the one I went with.
Best fight. The Baron in the Barn. Fallout. Clark fighting Zod in the woods. Zod. Lex jabs Clark in the Baron. Crimson. Lana kicking ass while preggers. Trespass. Lex murders his doctor in Promise. WWE SmackDown with Titan. Combat. Clark on Clark. Phantom.
It's got to be the WWE because, I mean, it's literally an episode about fights, like, and battling.
I liked the woods fight.
Me too, with Zod and Lex and Clark. Winner, 29% of the vote. WWE SmackDown with Titan. Combat. Runner up, 28% of the vote. Clark on Clark. Phantom. Okay, the fans voted. You guys voted. Tallying up the scores here, folks. Rosenbaum ratings, as you know. 3 roses the best, 3 bombs the worst. Halves don't count. Halves also count, of course. All right, tallying up the scores. Rosenbaum rating. You guys know what's going on. Highs and lows of season 6. Tom's high was 2.5 roses for Promise, Labyrinth, and Hydro. His low is half a rose for Noir and Wither. Michael, that's me, high 2.5 roses for Justice, Promise, and Labyrinth. The low was a heater. I never gave a bomb this season, Bryce.
Nope.
That's Craytown.
I know. It's wild.
Crimson was the...
What's your favorite season so far?
Yeah, I mean, 22 episodes and I didn't give a bomb? That's amazing. Ryan.
Yeah.
2.5 roses for Justice and Promise. As low as a heater as well for Crimson, Reunion, and Wither.
I gave 3.
So if you look at it, Ryan gave the lowest scores of the season.
Yeah.
And he's proud of
man.
Look at me.
Stop shitting on the show,
Having
Ryan.
opinions.
Patrons.
New t-shirt.
Check this out. This is interesting. The patrons high was a 2.7. 2.7 roses. And it was for Justice. The low was 0.6 of a bomb. 0.6 of a bomb they gave it.
0.6 of a bomb.
So they gave it a little over half a bomb was their low. So the patrons scored lower than Ryan.
They did. It was for Subterranean,
That
it says.
Is, you know what's great about this, guys? The patrons are beginning to really start. They're critiquing. They're starting to see the flaws and not just sugarcoat everything.
But that was the one where we had a long conversation with Al about Subterranean.
Yes.
I think that was why we didn't bomb it.
All right, score summary. Okay.
They were bombing us.
So season 1, Tom 1.5 rose, Michael a rose, Ryan 1.3 roses, patrons 1.5 roses. That was their average. Season 2, Tom a rose and a half, Michael 0.8 of a rose.
Oh, damn.
Ryan 1.2 roses, patrons 1.5. Season 3, Tom 1.2 roses, Michael 0.8 again, Ryan 0.8, patrons 1.5. Season 4, Tom 1.3 roses, Michael 0.4 roses, Ryan 0.9, patrons 1.3. That was a low. I think that was the worst season. Season 4.
You guys are tough.
Season 5, Tom 1.3, Michael 0.8, Ryan 1.2, and patrons 1.3. Season 6, Tom 1.4 roses, Michael 1.2, my high, Ryan 1.2, and patrons 1.5. Total, Tom 1.3 roses, Michael 0.9 roses, Ryan 1.1 roses, patrons 1.4 roses.
Wow.
Pretty sneaky stuff.
That's a lot of math.
Ryan's favorite scene. And as we know, season 1, I destroyed Tom 9-3. 4 times nobody got it. Season 2, I barely beat him 6-5. Five people nobody
5, nobody won.
Nobody won. Season 3, Tom 4, Michael 4, we tied, nobody 5.
Wow.
Season 4, Tom 2, Michael 4, nobody 2. Season 5, Tom 2, Michael 4, nobody 2. Season 6, 4-4 tie, 10, nobody. So I know beating Tom.
You guys all chat. I mean, you guys all vote similar. You all picked similar scenes. I know what's going on. I've been in the room. I see how you chat.
Nope.
I still throw a flag for Ryan's last choice in the final episode. It was a wild decision.
Forgot about that.
I don't even remember it.
Well, we'll find out in a couple weeks.
Patron voting. We had patrons get involved in guessing Ryan's favorite scene, and they guessed correctly 57% of the time in season 6.
Wow.
That is pretty. I'm impressed with the patrons. I am thoroughly impressed with our patronage. This was a great season. There's nothing else you could say about it. I hope season 7 is just as good.
Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, and we're taking it season by season. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But right now, season 7, we're going to do season 7. Thanks to you. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/talkville and support the show. Become a grand tier. Become a tier. Just give back, if you will, so we can keep this going. There's a lot that goes into this show. A lot, as Bryce can tell you, and now Ryan. They do. Bryce does the heavy lifting, and it's a lot of work. And the editing, I'd say Jason too has his hands full. I mean, he is extraordinary. We're very lucky to have him as well. I mean, I just love the guy. He just got married, so everybody wish Jason Nelkin a happy marriage.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, he got married. So, dude, good luck.
Nice.
Good luck.
Because of all those people, you guys, it does seem seamless, but there's a lot that goes on.
There's a lot that goes in.
Nobody needs to see, but
there's just a lot going on. So thank you, everyone, for supporting us. Tom, Ryan, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm giving Ryan the best of our luck. You're going to kick some ass. We're here for you.
Yeah, maybe there'll be less math, and maybe I'll just do like a word search or something.
Just have fun.
All
just
right.
have fun. Learn from the best. Bryce, we love you. And I know we're going to be asking you for help.
It'll be call Al, and then before that, it'll be call Bryce.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's about it, folks. Listen, we've had a lot of people say they're excited for us to get into season 7. So if you want to your question asked live on the show, start calling into the hotline 213-538-2883. Just mention the episode in reference and whatever question you have. Make sure it's short, please. 30 seconds, no longer, or I get bored. And if you want to know which episode we are getting ready to record so you can ask ahead of time, go visit talkvillepodcast.com/hotline. All right, before we leave, here are a few highlights from our time in season 6. Talkville is brought to you by IDOU. This is pretty fascinating. Do you feel like you're falling behind on AI? I know I do. I feel like I'm behind, and it's so in now, and everybody's got to use it. Are you worried your organization is pulling ahead without you? Yes, I feel like that all the time. Boost your impact and drive your team forward with IDOU's online learning experiences, including their new AI and design thinking programs. You'll master machine learning with IDEO's signature human-centered approach.
At IDOU, you'll learn to apply human-centered methods to real-world challenges and turn insights into creative solutions that actually make a difference.
So guys, look, if you're behind on AI and you don't really know what's going on, you don't know the lingo, these guys are fantastic, and you're going to learn it, and it's easy. They'll make it easy and fun, and it's time. It's time to take a step up, and why not? Do it with IDOU. Class starts soon, so enroll today. For a limited time, IDOU is offering my listeners 15% off site-wide. Go to IDOU.com/talkville. IDEOU.com/talkville. That's IDOU.com/talkville for 15% off. IDEOU.com/talkville. Yep, and you're wearing it.
I'm wearing it. It is the Smallville Crows Letterman jacket.
That's original, dude.
And this is, I want to beat people up. Is that normal? I just want to.
I know what you're saying.
Hey man, go Crows, huh?
Yeah, man. Let's go pound some beers in the parking lot after the game, and
hang on, I'm looking at the.
I'll get out of this town one day.
We still have that tap from last weekend. Who's got the fake ID for the keg? It's all you got to keep the tap, right?
Is that how it works?
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Oh god.
After they discuss his destiny, Bairn interrupts Clark and Rhea. Bairn, wait, hold on here. Let's do this one. Bairn interrupts Clark and Rhea in his barn.
In his barn. That barn is in his barn.
And in the barn, Bairn reveals himself to be his owner.
And then they go barn, barn. So stupid.
I got up.
We're getting today, guys. Right. Sorry.
I just got off a plane. All right. Bairn. Fuck me.
Keep going.
I can't read the word bear.
Just say Bairn. He's losing it.
I'm gone.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I've been there.
After they discuss his destiny.
Just let it happen.
I just text Al Goff and I said, Stephen DeKnight is on the show. Any questions? He goes, that's great. Ask him how much he loved me and Miles. And he put a smiley face.
They cook up. Oh my God.
Today, Junior.
They cook up a plan to leverage Queen Industries satellites to track down other occurrences and put a stop to the chaos.
Did you remember that in Billy Madison? Yeah. The guy goes, today, Junior.
Junior.
I do remember one time in a graveyard where Michael and I had the giggles and Mersey was directing. And you were DPing.
Oh, we talked.
And you came up to us and you were like,
yes,
we got to get our shit.
Guys, you got to get your shit together. But go ahead, Glenn.
And we just couldn't.
That is people having fun, and you're just kind of like herding kittens sometimes.
Right. They make their way into an abandoned newsroom to take things to the next level. But Lois bumps the brakes when Clark. Jesus H. Christ.
Sorry about that one.
When Clark lets one rip.
That was loud, dude. That was a loud furt. A loud furt.
That was so wet.
That was Gordon Loudfurt.
Go change your shorts.
I think I can smell it through the internet.
Lord. We got to spice up the show a little bit.
I mean, he literally goes, they go back in the room so Clark can, and then you ripped it.
Oh my
God.
God.
I ripped it, yeah.
All right, I'm going to start from there again. The next day in the Talon loft, Chloe gives fart. Whoa,
fart. Chloe gives fart.
There's a reason, because the next word was going to start with an F. The next day in the Talon loft, Chloe gives Clark the 411.
And you could tell you committed. Like, you're in this. You're not second-guessing yourself.
You can't half-ass that stuff. You're wearing almost no clothes, trouncing around and making white snake tapes. Gosh, Lex's sheets are hideous.
That's what you noticed.
What's up with those sheets?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's all going to change after the wedding. It's all going to change.
They were just so gross.
Meanwhile, Oliver's like, I did something terrible. It's like, no, Lex beat him up and then another guy ran him over. You're fine, Oliver.
Yeah, you didn't do anything, Queen.
He didn't.
Your hands are Queen.
Queen.
Your hands are Queen.
Did the Oreo thing land for you at all?
No.
The Oreo cookies?
Yeah, that was a thing.
What was it?
Martian Manhunter.
He
likes to eat Oreo cookies.
Was that in the script?
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah,
I don't.
That's why
I knew it.
He
had to
found
be
a cookie
thing.
at the docks, and then he found a cookie in the barn. I only know because I was like, I remember doing inserts of an Oreo cookie, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, apparently Martian Manhunter, that's his thing.
Yeah.
So that's who that is.
That's some of your delicious coffee I gave you.
I did. It is good.
It's good coffee, right?
Made it fast.
I don't like that I wear a white suit. I get it, but I didn't think it looked good on me. I thought it looked kind of dumpy.
Shows the blood better.
Yeah, it looked kind of dumpy.
It matched the color of your skin. Pale.
Oh, great.
I told these guys earlier we were recording, and I remember one time we were on set, and he came in and gave me some direction, and he goes, Tom, and I'm like, yeah. He goes, pick one. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, pick one. You know what I'm talking about.
His eye.
And I just remember just being like he was just so, he was so wonderful.
The next scene in the hospital, I got this bruise. I'm like, is that bad makeup or is it a bruise? Did you guys notice that?
Well, yeah, I mean, you didn't read the script, so they just put a bruise on you, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, but like when I watched him, like Lex didn't get hurt. And he's got, I don't know, man.
What's the dating pool like for someone like her in Smallville? Like, where are there, that
She's got to have
many
prospects.
widowed dudes?
She's a senator.
Isn't there farmers.com, farmersdating.com?
But like, they're like farmers with
farmersonly.com.
traditional
Free
values
plug.
and like.
It's our new sponsor.
What's it called? Farmers
Only.
Farmersonly.com. Could you imagine?
Trice Bryce knows.
Hey, Martha, love to hook up with you. We can go to the Devil's Backbone there on Con Street, have ourselves a brew and maybe driving my Ford to the drive-in theater. And then
I think she's got
Lionel would slide into those DMs.
Lionel is just like, he's a classy dude.
He's like, I got a farm.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a billionaire. Stay away from these clowns.
Given her options, I think Lionel's probably the classiest bet.
Do you play it more ambiguously? Do you try to fight the writing a little bit, like playing it more?
Well, it definitely came from what they gave me for sure. I didn't ever want to play the end beat, which is they get together, right?
Yeah.
It was just specifically what's happening right now with this character and what she wants. I tried to find little moments where the vulnerability or the draw or the something that he had that was different would catch me up at some point or another, whether it was a look or a gesture or something, and then kind of do a direct 180 on it. So like maybe the fans could see a piece of it, but then it would be gone and she would cover it up. And I think what I liked to do was try to find ways to put the gas on that and then stop, you know what I mean? So that they could see, oh my goodness, she kind of, nope, she's covered it all back up again. Because I didn't want to play the end of that. I wanted to kind of find the different nuances.
Isn't it a little weird that wouldn't you think it'd be weird in like future Justice League situations that Clark's wife, Lois, with Superman has been through Aquaman, Green Arrow, and now Supes? I just feel like that'd be a little bit awkward around.
I think it'd be
Hall of
less.
Justice,
It'd be more
table.
awkward if she also hooked up with the Flash. But yeah, that's just fodder, man. That's just like, to me, it's like, it's just something to joke about. Like, oh yeah, how's my ex? Yeah, shut up.
When Linda Lake was spying on people in the water cooler at the Daily Planet, how did she get into that bottle and how would she have gotten out? Also, what would have happened if somebody had tried to drink her? Which is kind of a cringy thought. Bye.
Ken, you're a genius. I don't even know how to respond to that. Ryan, why don't you respond?
She would have had to wait till like the office manager like uncapped a new bottle of water and then dumped it in. Because otherwise she would have to like go in through the spout.
What if somebody drank her? Would they get pregnant?
They should have called Aquaman to deal with Linda Lake, because he can control water, and he would have been able to physically control her or at least restrain her because of his powers. We're using his powers. Thanks, guys.
Amerigo,
goodbye.
I know you're serious when you ask that question. You really want to know, but it's genius. It's like, yeah, he should have said, could we get Aquaman here to deal with this Hydro girl? That's genius.
Before his secret can get revealed to Lex Luthor, Clark heads to the hospital to confront Dr. Bethany. After the doc plays dumb, Clark uses his super blow to create a distraction of flying papers and steal his laptop.
That was that scene.
Yeah, how was it?
That scene. It was just, we got news of what they wanted the scene before. Glenn goes, we have an update. What? We have to do this. And so we mapped it out where you're going to do it super speed, drop your laptop off, outside that room. And like, it was, and try to make it believable. I think it worked as much as it could work.
The scientist that brought everything to Lana in the limousine, did anyone teach this man how to wear glasses? Seriously, did they hire an actor that didn't wear glasses? Was no one on set to say, no, that's not how you wear glasses? Seriously, it really bothered me.
Dude, Ed is pissed, and I love it. Yes, he was just doing this. He's like, well, with his glasses, it was like, dude, it was annoying me. I get it, Ed. Let's go to king size Matt.
Was that an actor choice? Perhaps
it was fine, but it was just like it did bother me a little bit.
It feels like something your roommate tells you to do while you're working on the audition. They're like, yeah, do that.
Keep fidgeting with your glasses. They'll love
be
that.
Be interesting.
Yeah, and then be annoying. Technically, the first Lois and Clark smooch right there. It was good. I was surprised by this scene.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, oh, it's not what it. You got me, Tom. That was really good. That was I remember saying, that was really well calculated.
Who's playing who?
Yeah, who's zooming who?
I don't know.
Yeah, gosh.
I'll tell you a quick story about that. So the alleyway that you shoot in downtown Vancouver, the morning before you're able to shoot, a hazmat team goes through and cleans the alley.
Of course.
It's a real thing because there's a lot of drugs going around in Vancouver at the time. And at the 24-minute, 37-second mark, he's thrown into a billboard that says the Black Dog. Now that's a company that's some friends of mine, family friends, over on Martha's Vineyard. And I called them, and I remember our art department guy, I said, can we put their logo up there just for fun? He said, sure, have them call me. And there was it took 4 days of paperwork and phone calls for legality to get it on there. And they painted it right on the billboard. And it was just sort of a fun thing for me, I guess, to do. And I'm glad they let me do it.
That's really cool.
It could have, nowadays it'd say the talented farter.
Dave Bautista as Aldar. I've been trying to get a hold of Bautista. Let's see. You think he texts me back today?
He's a busy guy. The only person who's ever picked me up over their head.
Oh my God.
Tom, that most epic finale when you guys are all walking slowly away from the explosion in the background. What was that like behind the scenes? Was that kind of goofy feeling in the moment, or did you guys know you were going for a really cool shot there? Thanks.
I do remember doing that because the camera was so far away from us because they were on a long lens. And so it kind of felt like we were all just walking down this gymnasium by ourselves in a sense. That's a sense of space. You can't really see the camera because it's so far away, and we're all just like, all right, I hope I'm walking cool enough, and they did tell us it was slow motion. I always like to know that because there's subtle adjustments that you can make. You want to blink less. You want to focus a little differently than if it was just regular speed film camera. So, or it wasn't film, but you know what I'm saying? Camera speed. So, I think we did a couple takes where we figured out what our rhythm was because we all kind of had to walk similarly. And funny enough, I don't remember anybody being upset about where they were in the order. Because it's really of course, Clark had to be in the middle, but everyone was just like, all right, I'll stand there. I'll stand there.
That's cool, man.
I felt like I was playing with action figures in my bedroom. I was like, yeah, then they do this and then they're going to do this.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Play with more than that.
This is what it is.
He gets a rescue call from Chloe, causing him to super speed to Luthor Mansion to play Sommelier. Sommelier, what does that mean?
Wine guy.
That's why I don't know it.
Yeah.
Sommelier.
All these French words throw you off every week.
They do, man.
Or sommelier.
Sommelier.
Ménage à trois.
I use a wheelchair part-time. So I just don't understand why in the name of mobility couldn't billionaire Lex Luthor get a better wheelchair? Or why couldn't he just get prosthetic legs and some physical therapy so he could still walk? I mean, I know it's just a dream sequence, but...
Melanie, you're absolutely right. Wow, that is really brilliant because he looks like he has a wheelchair out of 1950. Like you think he'd have an electric wheelchair, and he can move around. But the legs thing, I think it was more of a shock value. It was a dream, remember? So this wasn't a reality. So they wanted the shock value of just seeing Lex without legs, and this is what he did. It was more impactful, I think, to see that.
Simon Westcott.
Ooh. Side note, if you hire them and have 99% chance of being stolen from, then you shouldn't hire them.
Does SafeTex not, now just reading it out loud, does it not sound like a condom company?
The new SafeTex.
SafeTex.
Protect yourself and others. 99.9% effective. SafeTex. Real latex. SafeTex.
It's safe sex with safe tax.
Safe sex with safe tax.
Is this another t-shirt?
Safe text.
Oh, with his inability to super speed, Clark uses Chloe's Yaris to drive into Metropolis and visit Lex.
I thought that would be a t-shirt. You can take my Yaris.
Jimmy believes that Lex is working with the Egyptians.
You know what? I gotta say, I kind of like that he said that.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, it's so nice that there was like a lovable dumb guy on the show.
Yeah.
Like,
it was actually
serious.
funny. It was the payoff was funny. That was good writing. It was like Egyptians, like
it's like, obviously the Egyptians still write like this.
And she's like, yeah, I think you're right.
It's like,
Tom, is this the episode where you said that they made Justin's voice like way darker in that alleyway scene?
It was like this.
Yeah. When Justin brought I'll tell the story real quick. When Justin brought his family together for the episode, and he was like, cool, this is my big episode. Everybody check it out. And all of a sudden he was like, the Batman voice. He was like, what?
You needed to change his voice. You needed to. It had to.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough you can tell exactly who he is with the hood on and the glasses.
I know.
By the way, how does he see at night with glasses on?
Ridiculous.
You ever tried that?
Ridiculous. I do not know why they did that.
Are they not his like night vision goggles because they got all like the little digital stuff like telling him how far away stuff is to shoot?
Oh, maybe.
Are they like little tactical things? But they're a little bit
300
more
meters.
stylish. Yeah.
Yeah. So he cheats.
Elsewhere in the party, we see Oliver dressed as Robin Hood, chaperoning
Yeah,
Lois
wait a minute.
Lane.
He's Robin Hood.
Yeah.
He shows her some archery on the roof, shooting the can. And she's not, she's a journalist, an investigative reporter, and she's not piecing this crap together.
She's smitten.
Yeah, but come on, man. Yeah, we got to find out somebody who knows archery really well. Well, maybe the guy you went out with today.
How many archers are there in Metropolis?
What's wrong with you?
You can't arch in a big city.
That episode was supposed to be a musical.
Oh, really?
A musical noir. And when they brought it up to me, I literally was.
You're like, I ain't singing.
Sounds like I don't sing.
I will not show up to work and do it. You can film it.
You know
I'm
who
not
would have
singing.
loved that? Allison.
She would have.
Allison would have loved that. I'm Chloe and I'm still in love with Clark. And Lex, why are you so dark? Lana's always frustrated. Parents died in a crash, and everybody is getting a swift kick in the ass. I think that's what would happen. Hey,
that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah. Let me.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tom, thank you, because I'm not much of a singer either, and I probably would have had to just, go with it.
And that was the famous scene that Tom laughs at, where I was like, okay, she's walking away. She's walking away. You love her. You love her. Yeah. It's like on my hands up, and I'm like, all right, your
hand
hands
was the
in
eye
front.
line. Yeah.
My hand's the eye line. And Tom loved that.
Clark Kent ditches the glasses and acts like a cool cat and pulls the strings to get Jimmy into the Talon. The convo gets interrupted by a nosy, penciled mustached Lionel Luthor, but in the owner of the club and the main event of the evening, Miss Lois Lane. As Lois serenades the audience on stage, we see Lex lighting up in his corner of the room, mocking his father's fall from grace. Lionel feels the type of way and decides to give Jimmy intel about Lex's mysterious exits from the club every evening.
That sounds like your voice sounds like the ride. It's not a ride. It's the diner, the sci-fi diner at Disney World. It's like, then the incredible shrinking woman, a woman shrinking down to minimal size. Oh,
and
great
today
God.
we have the newsies.
It's
the
the
update
purple
from
eating.
World War II.
Yeah.
Remember my first directorial effort on Smallville, a little gem called Ageless, a.k.a. the Exploding Baby episode.
Oh, yeah.
That did not go well, in my opinion. It's not one of our shining moments.
Did you write it?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I won't get in the weeds, but interesting side story. What that episode was supposed to be, I pitched them in the idea of Night of the Living Dead with kryptonite zombies, where the Luthor Corps truck carrying meteor rock sludge overturns in a stormy night by a cemetery, reanimates the dead. They surround the Kent farm, and Clark is powerless because they're kryptonite-powered zombies.
That sounds great.
That sounds kind of.
I thought so too.
Up my alley.
I go off to do a rewrite on another script. I come back a week later and I bump into Al in the hallway, and he goes, Steve, we got a new story for you. You're gonna love it. Clark and Lana find a baby, and I'm like, I'm fucked.
I'm fucked.
So with Justice, it was luck of the draw. And, I was delighted that I got that to write and direct.
Well, you said you were like not going to direct. Were you saying you're not going to direct any more Smallville, or you always wanted to direct more?
I was thinking about not directing anything ever again.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought I kind of sucked at it.
Wait a minute. So Justice was such a success and you killed it that it revived that sort of spirit.
It did. Very much so. I thought, well, maybe I can figure this out, because directing is not second nature to me. I'm first and foremost a writer.
I don't remember this episode. I never saw it. So it was fresh to me, obviously. But I thought you were freaking excellent in this episode. I'm not even kidding. Like, your performance in this episode, I'm not shitting you. I think it's the best performance I've seen you do. Oh. It was so strong and subtle and dynamic. It was movie star. Like, you looked great. Your instincts are great. I was really like almost watching you like a hawk to see, making sure it's like he's gonna do something Thomas, or he's gonna see, and you were just in the zone. I can't express like how great I thought you were in this episode.
Thanks. I appreciate that, because I was really terrified to do this kind of episode. And I took a lot of time with the scenes really getting the beats down, because we don't shoot in order. What he knows, what he doesn't know, what he's going after.
Yeah.
And it's I just remember this episode. I don't know if it took a long time, but it felt like this episode took forever, probably because of the mental state that I was in. But man, did it take forever in my head.
An episode of Smallville has never looked like this before. It looked like this was taken out of a movie. Like, I feel like if James Gunn saw this episode and he was directing Superman at that time or that following summer, if he just turned into this episode, he would have been like, he's my Clark. That's it. No question about it. It was just phenomenal. Your performance was phenomenal.
Thank you,
it was top notch.
Because there's a way to play like, wait, I'm the only one going insane. Everyone is telling me that I'm insane. There's a way to over crazy that, and I don't think you did.
No, it was subtle.
You didn't cage it. You didn't Nicolas Cage it. You were just like, you were in the pocket.
Yeah, dude. You were in the pocket. You never left the pocket. You just stayed.
One of my favorite things about this episode is you get to see Clark with no powers.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking really hard about that. Like, he wasn't like, he couldn't hit somebody hard and then he gave up.
He was vulnerable.
So you see the spine, you see the character of Clark, I think, even more through this.
If you just pay attention to your surroundings, Tom, as you know, you learn a lot. And you learn, I learned so much in that episode. Well,
I think one of the things that I took away is you knew what you wanted.
Yeah.
And you knew when things worked. You were very specific. And you brought an interest and an energy to it that, not every episodic director brings. You really did care. And that's fun for the actor too.
Remember, folks.
Remember, folks.
Remember, folks.
Always.
Always hold on to Smallville. All right, we gotta celebrate. We got to shout out to our top patrons, and we love you and thank you for so much for the support. Patreon.com/talkville. Leanne P, Raj C, Santiago M, Little Lisa, Thomas, Tom Turner, Shane W, Betsy D, Abby P, Karen Apple M, 99 more, Lalani N, Brett G, Always Hold On to Smallville, Charlie T,
Garrett W, Bob K, Tom N, Jason W, Lana rhymes with banana W, Nancy D, Brian G, Grape Jelly 817, Amanda R, Teddy 127, Michael P, Ryan R, and Randy B.
Yeah, so that's Lana rhymes with banana. She hates when you say Lana. Anyway, Randy B, Craig G, Jarrell, Heather, and Greg. I made Talkville say Butts, Brian H, Eric K, Kristen B, Finky. Early is on time. Damn, who's that? Jeanette E, General Zod, Doug R, Carlos C, Shanna I work hard so my dog has a good life, and Ken the Limerick guy.
Mr. Home Arcade. Claire M, D Brown, Jules M, Eldon Supremo, Brian P, Mick Burtz, Ginger Moose, Christoph S. Nobody puts Leah in a corner, ever. Amanda Lynn, Jessica B. Michael Kyne doesn't blank. Sebastian F. Wolfie. See you in a couple days, actually. Matthew and Lincoln B. Mary Lou L. Caesar G. Shannon Fofan and Matt Maverick. Randy S. Cassie B. Danny Mo Mirabel. Mary K. Sophie L. Nate. And Steve Danger. See what I did there? When you're rich, you aren't crazy or eccentric. Rosenbaum fan, Sammy Sharman.
Corey L. Don't forget Corey L. Carrie Ann, the Alexander Castle, Jenny B. 76. Monica T, Ms. M, Emily, who locked Jeffrey K previously on Smallville. Keith B, Cookie, Carrium, Libertariat, Danny Z from Cleveland, Biagio C, Felicia B, Lady J, Madison H, as told by Helen, Kelowna A, Natalia, Dear, Dr. J, Kurt F, Clois, 28, Dr. G and Dr. T, Krypton, Knight, Ned L, Flirtatious B, Per 6, a Luther Corp subsidiary, Naman L, Smallville for Life, Bobby B, Kendrick F, Stacy L, Other Brother Daryl, Melanie P, Charlie M, Cheyenne F, AJ Sisson, Heather H, Tom N, Michael's friend Mickey. Hi, Mickey. Allison C, Karen H, or Karen H, we always mess that up. The Real Chucky B,
we'll never know.
Cuban Boy, Laura C, Sarah C, Adam C, Jackie J, John W, Jet Blazer, Michael, hi, Bradley H, Laura L, Dan L of Chizona, Maria P, Lishish W. We love you dearly, and thank you for all the support and love, and we'll see you very, very, very soon.